think you
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, man. Okay. Really?
Come in.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, yes.
Kristen, that's for Citrix. It's so great to finally
Nice to
meet
meet
you. Do you mind if I take a seat?
Go ahead.
Great. So, I understand how busy you are, and I want to be respectful of your time, so I'm going to say I'm willing about 15
Yeah,
minutes.
only 15 minutes.
Great. Well, here's a copy of my business card.
Thank
If you have any questions or concern after this meeting, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of
Gotcha.
yours too?
I do, actually.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jamie, I have to ask, have you ever played a sport, specifically soccer?
No, that's way too much running for me.
Have you played a sport though?
Yeah, I used to play volleyball, actually.
Volleyball?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What position were you?
I was a setter, but my daughter now, she's a libero. So
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's a good position.
volleyball family now. All
Good.
types of positions.
That's awesome. Well, I asked because I grew up playing soccer my whole entire life.
Okay.
I almost
Good for
went, yeah, it is a lot of running.
Yeah.
But I almost had the opportunity to play in college, so I did not pursue that route. But I asked because my mind has a tendency to think in terms of sports. And
Right.
with volleyball or soccer, communication is key in
Mhm.
order to work as a unit and accomplish a goal.
Definitely.
So I want to accomplish your goal today. So in
Mhm.
order to do that, I first want to just start off by asking you some questions regarding North American Plastics operations.
Okay.
Move into your role a little, talk about some challenges you may be facing and some
Gotcha.
areas of opportunity you'd like to explore.
Okay.
And then of course talk about Citrix, who we are, what we can do, and how it can benefit your company
Definitely.
and save you time and money. So how does all that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. So in terms of sports, I went ahead and made a soccer field to help guide our meeting today. And really, I want to work on your team today. I'm going to be your forward, and I'm going to help you get past that offense, that midfield, that defense, and accomplish your goal together.
Okay.
So to get the ball rolling, I first want to just start off by asking you some questions.
Mhm.
First, we're starting with, when North American Plastics goes into implementing a new product, what
Right.
are the 1 to 2 things that you look for in a partnership?
I mean, always want to be with someone that's reliable, and dependable in terms with that, but also someone that we know we can have a long-term relationship with.
Long-term relationship. And then, if you like everything you saw today, are you the person to move on to the next steps? Is there someone else involved in the decision-making process?
I mean, I'm not really sure where we would go next or what next steps would be. I know ultimately the president would have to have a say, so he would be the end-all final decision maker,
Right.
but not to that point yet.
And Jason is his name.
Yes,
correct?
Jason.
Great. So then, when implementing a product such as this, do you have a timeline that you'd like to see it up and running by?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible?
Yes, definitely.
Great. So Jamie, I know that you are the vice president of the Southeast at North American Plastics.
Yes.
It's a big role. You have a lot to look over.
Yeah.
So can you talk to me a little bit more about your role?
So pretty much I oversee, North American Plastics has 88 locations nationwide. So I oversee the offices that are in the Southwest or Southeast region. What that means is really working with the sales and operations to ensure that we're being as efficient as possible so that we can grow. Growth is ultimately the end goal that I'm always trying to work towards.
Great. That's awesome. And so obviously with growth and working with such a big company, 88 locations, that's a lot of work on your end. What are some challenges that you seem to be running into?
Just inefficiencies. There's a lot of inefficiencies within the company and a lot of things we could be doing a lot better, I would say. So 88 locations we have, but we also work with 13 different products.
Wow.
So when we're interacting with customers, there's 33 different brands that we can be showing them.
Right.
And our technology is so slow. We have 13 different brands pulled up on our computers, and you have a different login for each, and the logins are expiring. So you go to show them one brand, then back to the other, and that has already expired. And it's very, I would just say, inefficient is like the best word I can use to describe how we're doing sales right now. So that is my biggest thing. I need more efficiency. I need it fast, and I need not to break Jason's bank.
Right, exactly. And with sales, things are changing so quickly. And you're talking about this inefficient technology that you're using, and it's taking a long time, probably having lags. How is that affecting your business?
is having a huge effect on the business. Like you said, technology, everything's changing.
Right.
A lot of things are always going on. Up in our Toronto office right now, I know I mentioned on the phone with you,
Right.
we have a really big contract pending, could be the biggest contract with North American Plastics. But a lot of that is going to depend on whether we can increase our efficiencies and keep up with the demand that is required for us.
Right. So, if you did have a way to be more efficient and really have a consistent look across the board with no lag time, how do you think that benefit your business?
That would be huge. We'd be able to do a lot more business, and an average deal can range from 10,000 to $1 million. You know, it really depends. There's a lot of different ways a sale could go, but we really are looking into new markets, new customers, and if we can keep up with them and give them what they need, that would be huge for North American Plastics.
Absolutely, and I know you just touched on that Toronto office, and I know it is top secret, but can you talk to me a little bit more about that? What does your goal look like for that office?
Can't get too much into it because, like I said, got to keep it on the down low right now. But new office, couple pending contracts that would be huge, mainly because very overall picture. There's that new agreement, the United States, Mexico, Canada agreement. Pretty much that's going to limit the amount of trade and business that Canada is going to be able to do with China. So these contracts that we're working with are with Canadian companies that are no longer going to be reaching out to China, but rather reaching out to us in North America and America to do business. So that's a whole new group of business that we could have, but whether we have that is actually going to decide if we can keep up with our technology.
Right. And where you guys are currently, your current situation with moving into that Toronto office, and you do want to make that Canada communication to your office a lot easier. What are some challenges with that? What system are you guys currently using in order to do that?
There's just a lot going on. Just real quick, how long has Citrix been around?
Citrix has been around for quite some time. We're a very established company. We work with 400,000 enterprises in 100 different companies, so we're an extremely reliable company.
Okay.
Yeah. So does that alleviate any of your concerns?
Yeah, that's fine.
How long Citrix has been around? Okay, great. So moving forward, I know on the phone you mentioned some like case studies that you found similar.
Yeah, those case studies are helpful on your website.
Yeah, can you talk to me a little bit more about what you find and how you connected to those?
Just saw that a lot of the case studies I was reading was with big companies that had a lot of sales, but also had a lot more room to grow in the sales process. But their technology and that's what was holding them back. And I guess Citrix was able to really speed up their whole process and allow them to increase the amount of sales and do those sales in a faster time because the technology was faster. So that's really what we want.
So you're talking about obviously the technology. You found a lot of similarities in their slower technology.
Yeah,
so
slower technologies. I know a lot. One of the ones I was reading, I forget what company it was with. They actually had two more than us. They had 15 different logins for different brands. And like I mentioned, we have 13. So if you can help a company with 15, hopefully you can help a 13 brand company.
Right, exactly. So with having those 13 different logins, how's that impacting your business?
That's the biggest thing that slows down our sales.
Okay.
You have 13 different logins. You're trying to show the customer the options of the brands they can have, but you log in to show one brand and go back to the next, and that login has expired, and you have to re-log in, and it's slow because you have all these other browsers open. So there's just a lot of lag time, and that just you came in here. I only have 15 minutes. If you had to just keep waiting on technology to load, and that just
it's a deal breaker.
Waste of time.
Exactly. And time is money, right?
Time is money.
All right, great. So just from what we've talked about today, you're really harping on this inefficiency. You're talking about this disconnect with your technologies. You're talking about how it's slowing your technology down. You're losing a lot of business from it. And then, of course, you want to grow. You want those sales to increase, and you're using 13 different logins right now.
Yep.
And so that's a lot. Is that really some of those issues? Is there anything else that's top of mind right now?
I would say the slow technology, outdated technology, and just all the different logins is the big thing. Does Citrix operate in Canada?
So you're just wondering if Citrix operates in Canada. So yes, Citrix does operate in Canada. Like I said, we work in 100 different countries. So we can definitely, translate between those different countries to work with your business needs. That would be any concerns?
So like, you say you work in a lot of different countries. Are they all English speaking countries that you work with, or do you have people that can speak other languages and assist people that don't speak English?
So you're wondering just about the language barrier issue between. Right, so we actually do a feature on Citrix. It's called a language bar. And your employees will have the opportunity, this actually, I can show you exactly what this looks like. So your employees will have the opportunity for their settings, either say yes, they would like this language bar as an option. And what happens is if one of your employees or someone that you're working with speaks a different language other than English, this language bar will pop up on their device and make the translating between languages very efficient, easy to work with.
Wow, okay, yeah, that's definitely, because a lot of people up in the Toronto office speak French, so
Right.
definitely want to make sure they can interact with any technology we bring on.
French is definitely an option that your employees will be able to have access to
Okay.
and really decrease those language barriers between, the Toronto office and so forth.
Right, okay,
So,
awesome.
are you okay to move forward?
No, yeah, that's great.
Great. So from everything we talked about today, I obviously want to talk about Citrix a little bit. So like we touched on a little bit, Citrix works with 400,000 enterprises in 100 different countries. With those, 98% are from the Fortune 500, trusting us to lower their IT costs and make their lives a lot easier.
Right.
Also in this number, a lot of the people that we work with are huge banks, which obviously has a lot of confidential information. On your side, I'm sure North American Plastics has a lot of confidential information as well. So how is this resonating with you?
Definitely seeing that you guys have been around, working with a lot of different companies and good companies, definitely is reassuring.
Great. That's great to hear. So obviously I know you talked about this inefficiency situation that you're having right now. And so I want to show you just a really good thing that I think would help your business a lot.
Okay.
So the inefficiency with the login, your employees will only have one login. And when they go
into
just the whole entire system.
Okay.
So just one login, username and password, that's very unique to each employee. So when they log in, it'll look like this. They just put their username and password in. And then you can also, as the VP set or higher authorities, set an option where you'll also need a 6-digit code, which your employees will get sent to their phone to input into there to really make sure those security measures are up to date. So this is a very simple one login. Get rid of those 13 logins and really have that more efficient login password. Just one.
Okay.
So how does that sound so far? I know
definitely one login would definitely help.
Yeah, I know those 13 logins were definitely decreasing that efficiency for you. Right. So with everything we talked about today, I definitely see how Citrix can add value to your company, and I would love to go ahead and set up a next meeting. I know you mentioned that Jason.
I mean, would Citrix and everything that you're showing me would be affordable?
Yes. So Citrix is, you're just wondering about like the pricing and everything of it?
Yeah, pricing, and I don't want to bring something to Jason that's really going to break the company's bank and not help us overall.
Absolutely. So Citrix is affordable, but that's why I'm here today. I'm here to figure out your business needs, and we actually have 3 different packages that you can choose from, which will uniquely align to what you need at North American Plastics. That's really going to help you guys and grow and be more efficient.
Okay, so there's like options of which way we can go.
Yes, so I would love to talk about that more in the next meeting. But yes, there is different packages. There's 3 that you and Jason can sit down and really figure out what aligns to your business needs most accurately.
Gotcha.
So it's okay to move forward. Don't alleviate any concerns about pricing.
That's definitely, as long as we can sit down, if we have options and can choose the most affordable and whatever makes most sense for us. Because like I said, we want something fast. We want something to come in as soon as possible, but it needs to be affordable, bottom line.
Absolutely. And of course, I'll make sure to bring those additions in our next meeting and really break down how those can uniquely align to you. So like I said, if you are okay to set up that next meeting and really bring Jason along, maybe you can get him updated.
I mean, I don't think Jason should come in yet, just because what you're saying sounds great, but like you, I deal with sales. I'm not technological at all. Can't even say the word. But I work a lot with Michael Torres, he's their senior systems admin. And so I definitely would love for you to meet with him and explain the technology side of it, just so he can see if it makes sense from a technology standpoint for North American Plastics to move forward with Citrix.
Okay, and will you be present at that meeting as well, or just
if I have time, if my schedule allows? But I really would like it to be you two. If I can step in, I definitely will. But I think he is someone you definitely need to meet with next.
Well, thank you so much for giving me his name.
Yeah, of course.
I'll go ahead and check with the secretary about his time, but if he is available next week to talk.
Yeah, I know he's out in the beginning of next week, and then he drops off picks up his kids from school around 4, so usually before that.
Four.
But I'll go ahead and schedule it just because I have your contact information. I can get in contact with him, see what his availability is, and then reach back out to you.
Okay, perfect. Do you think we could shoot for maybe Thursday around like 12 just to get that on like rolling?
Yeah, I mean, he usually eats at 12.
Okay, so
But maybe like, yeah, 10. 10
Thursday
works.
at 10. So if
Thursday
you can
at
have Thursday at 10 with Michael, I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Okay,
that.
and if I'm available, I'll definitely step in and just see.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right under the
That was
wire.
oh my God.